President Trump may withdraw from efforts to seek peace in Ukraine.
Risk of disruption from the EU's new entry-exit system.
Nghệ An's provincial party secretary extends Lunar New Year greetings to border guard forces.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Hoàng Yên, and here we go, the first step of the show. U.S. President Donald Trump may abandon continued involvement in efforts to seek a peaceful resolution to Ukraine conflict in the coming weeks, as preparations for the midterm congressional elections increasingly demand his attention, according to The Atlantic.
An article in The Atlantic says Ukrainian officials increasingly feel that time is running out. As the U.S. election campaign enters a critical phase, President Donald Trump could conclude that negotiations no longer offer political benefits and may even become a liability. In that scenario, the U.S. leader could step back and attribute any diplomatic failure to the intransigence of one or both parties to the conflict. Since a tense, televised Oval Office exchange in February last year between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Mr. Trump and the U.S. Vice President Kyiv has sought to signal a willingness to compromise in order to maintain Washington's support. The U.S. midterm elections are scheduled for November 3rd, when all seats in the House of Representatives and one-third of the Senate will be contested. The Democratic Party, the main opposition to Mr. Trump, is aiming to regain control of Congress. The increasingly polarized political climate in Washington could directly shape the White House's foreign policy priorities, including its approach to Ukraine.
European allies have warned that European Union's new entry-exit system could cause significant disruptions at border crossings onto Schengen free travel area during the peak summer months of 2026.
Ouais, enfin, si tu as une opinion quand même, moi ce que je me demandais c'est si ça te dérange pas de donner ton vote à quelqu'un qui aurait pas du tout les mêmes opinions que toi, genre un truc complètement à l'opposé.
Replaces traditional passport stamping with automated procedures, including facial imaging and fingerprint collection for non-EU
Il y a rien qui t'intéresse là-dedans.
authorities, and more accurately, detect overstays or refused entries. However, waiting times at airport border checkpoints across Europe have already reached up to 2 hours. Aviation industry groups warn that unless immediate action is taken to address core operational issues, border processing could face serious disruption during the peak summer season, with queues potentially stretching to 4 hours or longer. Experts say that while tighter border controls using biometric technology mark a step forward for security, they are emerging as a logistical bottleneck that could directly affect the recovery of Europe's tourism and aviation sectors.
On the occasion of Lunar New Year being 2026, this morning, Mr. Nguyễn Thị Minh Khai, a member of the party Central Committee and Provincial Party Secretary, met with extended New Year greetings to officers and soldiers of the Provincial Border Guard Command.
At the meeting, Provincial Party Secretary Nguyen Khach Than commended the Provincial Border Guard Force for its efforts and achievements in 2025. He urged the force to continue upholding the principle of staying close to and working alongside the people, coordinating with local party committees and authorities to strengthen party building, governance, and the political system in areas where they are stationed, and to remain a reliable pillar for the party, authorities, and residents of the province. The Provincial Party Secretary called on officers and soldiers to maintain firm political resolve and effectively fulfill their mission of safeguarding national border sovereignty. On behalf of provincial leaders, he extended New Year wishes for health, happiness, and further accomplishments in the year ahead. Earlier the same morning, Mr. Nguyen Khach Than and his delegation visited and presented Lunar New Year gifts to war invalids, sick veterans, policy beneficiary families, and other contributors to the revolution receiving care and treatment at the Nghe War Invalids Nursing Center.
Upcoming are some updated news.
The People's Committee of Nghệ An has issued official dispatch number 1476, directing relevant agencies, including tax, customs, treasury, and finance authorities, as well as local administrations to tighten budget discipline and ensure accurate, sufficient, and timely revenue collection. To meet growth targets, the provincial government has instructed departments, sectors, and localities to accelerate the disbursement of public investment, striving to achieve 100% of the annual plan. Efforts will focus on attracting large-scale, high-tech FDI projects to economic zones and industrial parks. Authorities are also tasked with effectively implementing demand stimulation measures, preventing shortages of essential goods, and strictly controlling market prices. In addition, businesses will be supported in leveraging free trade agreements and diversifying export markets.
The Hanoi Department of Construction has announced that fares for subsidized public passenger transport services, including buses and urban rail, will be waived for residents and visitors during the Lunar New Year 2026 holiday for 9 consecutive days. Under the directive of the Hanoi People's Committee, from February 14 to February 22, 2026, the 27th day of the 12th lunar month to the 6th day of the 1st lunar month, the Hanoi Traffic Management and Operations Center will coordinate with bus operators and Hanoi Metro Company Limited to provide free services for passengers.
On the second day of competition at the 2026 World Kun Khmer Championship, Vietnamese fighters delivered an impressive performance, securing a total of 4 gold medals. The result places Vietnam's Kun Khmer team at the top of the provisional medal standings, with 4 golds and 1 silver. Kun Khmer, Cambodia's traditional martial art, shares similarities with Muay Thai and kickboxing, but features its own distinct rule system. At the SEA Games 32, held in Cambodia, Vietnam's Kun Khmer team won 5 gold, 7 silver, and 5 bronze medals, contributing significantly to the country's overall sporting success. The 2026 World Kun Khmer Championship concludes on February 13th.
Ahead of Valentine's Day on February 14th, the gift market has become increasingly diverse. Consumers are no longer focused solely on symbolic meaning, but are placing greater emphasis on practical value and usability. More in the story today.
Valentine's Day marks a peak season for the gift market, with each product carrying a message of love. Flowers and presents remain a popular way for couples to express affection.
February 14th stands out as the most special occasion of the year to show love, despite there being many other opportunities to give gifts. I opted for a bouquet paired with chocolate, noting that while stuffed bears and flowers were appealing, the combination gift felt more meaningful.
In recent years, consumers have increasingly prioritized practicality alongside symbolism.
Men tend to choose gifts that are both aesthetically pleasing and immediately usable.
As a result, gift shops have diversified designs, materials, and packaging to meet evolving demand. Pre-arranged gift sets remain popular among male customers, alongside preserved flowers made from wax, wool, or dried materials. As Valentine's Day falls close to the Lunar New Year this year, most customers are placing orders online, with fewer direct purchases compared to last year. The bakery offers a variety of ready-made gift options, including flower and chocolate sets. Fresh and artificial flowers are now widely available, while teddy bear gift boxes paired with chocolate are priced between VND 150,000 and VND 350,000, depending on design.
The last story to end our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.